Hi everyone, I wanted to talk to you today about a phrase that I've heard a lot over the past couple of months since the coronavirus pandemic hit, and that's the phrase, "we're all in the same boat." And I wanted to talk to you today about it because it came up in a conversation that I was having with George, who is the founder of MyoMinds, and we were just checking in with each other to see how each other was going during the pandemic and how we were coping. Now, I've heard this phrase a lot over the past couple of months, and I actually saw a social media post about it. Unfortunately, the original author wasn't credited, so I don't know who it was, but it's a concept that really resonated with me and something that I wanted to talk about today and expand on further. So as I said, I've heard the phrase, "we're all in the same boat," a lot over the past couple of months when people have been talking about the coronavirus pandemic and how it's been affecting them. And whilst people may have been saying this with the best of intentions to show empathy and to connect with others, it can sometimes make that other person feel like their feelings aren't valid and actually that person doesn't really understand what's going on with them. And the reason is this pandemic has affected the whole world. We're all in this storm together. However, the pandemic has affected people in so many different ways. We have people who have lost their jobs and they're now struggling to put food on the table. We've got people who their businesses are flourishing and they're now suddenly making more money than they ever were before the pandemic. We have some people, for example, key workers and frontline workers, who are terrified of going to work every day and dying, or of bringing the virus home to their loved ones and something happening to their loved ones. We also have people whose home isn't a safe space for them, and others who don't have a home at all. We also have people who have chronic illness or mental health issues, and the pandemic has affected them in different ways. It could be around how to access healthcare safely during this time, or it may have been affecting their mental health in a different way. But the point is that while we may be in the same storm, we're not necessarily in the same boat. And we may all be riding the waves of the storm, but the waves may be a different size for each of our boats. However, all our boats all around the world are tied together. So to make it through this pandemic and this storm, we must recognise this and play our part. So the next time you have the urge to say to somebody, "we're all in the same boat," instead of judging by what's happening in your boat and assuming the same for that person, just take a moment to breathe and to really listen to them, because that simple act could make the difference as to whether that person's boat sinks or whether it stays afloat. Thank you so much for listening, and please stay safe and stay well.